So it's DHA's Reconnect with Rockers. I am connecting for the first time with 4 lovely ladies, and I am so excited to have the gals from Plush on Reconnect, although we're connecting for the very first time. First of all, you guys impressed me so much because when I first saw what you were doing, you reminded me of a band that I grew up listening to, and I don't know if anybody's hit you with this or not. There's definitely a sensibility of the Runaways. And I'll tell you why.
Wow.
Because there's that, here's what I love. There's a raw energy, there's an authenticity, but you guys musically are leaps and bounds. And I'm wearing my Joan shirt, you know, nothing against what the Runaways were when they first came out as young ladies, but you guys musically are leaps and bounds ahead of where the girls were when they first came out as a young band. So I saw the publicity photo and I listened to the music and I was like, oh my gosh, it reminds me of when I first heard the Runaways. And I mean that as a huge compliment. We need more of that. So I want to introduce the ladies. There's Mariah Formica, who a lot of people know. You're sort of the face of the band because Mariah, you were on The Voice. I did not become familiar with you on The Voice, though. I became familiar with you after The Voice, when people were sending me videos of you doing heart tunes and Dokken tunes and stuff. And I was like, who is this girl? So there's Mariah. Now we've got, where's Brooke? Or our good friend Brooke. Right. Brooke is just, I talked to a drummer friend and I'm like, oh, I'm Zooming with, you know, the gals from Plush. And he's like, oh my God, Brooke was in Modern Drummer. She's amazing. And I'm like, all right, so she's got the cred for the guys, for the drummer guys. Bella, where's beautiful Bella?
Hi.
Hi, Bella. There's Bella. Now, Bella, you're a Berkeley gal, right?
I am. Yeah, I'm in my first year at Berkeley.
So what was it about guitar that had you sort of, you know, where you just kind of sucked into the guitar and you were like, you know what, this is my gig, this is my instrument? What made you pick up the guitar?
Well, my dad plays guitar, so it was definitely a huge influence on me. And I've always been listening to rock music, I mean, right from the get-go. So, and just listening to lead guitar always kind of struck me the hardest, especially in rock. So I started playing when I was 5 and just kind of haven't looked back since.
Wow. And Dad raised you well. Dad raised you well. And then where's my bass girl? Because, you know, female bass players are very rare. So Ashley is here. And so Ashley, tell me about, you know, keeping the beat, you know, you and Brooke together, that rhythm section, you know, what made you pick up the bass?
Well, I actually started on guitar and I had a guitar teacher tell me, hey, why don't you go check out the bass? So I learned this song on bass. I think it was a Clash song. I think it was Death or Glory.
Wow.
And that was the first song I ever learned on bass. And I performed it with the School of Rock, and that was kind of that.
That was it. You were in. You were sucked in. So let's talk a little bit, Mariah, about your journey, because you were on The Voice, and then referred to as, you know, the rock goddess. I think Miley Cyrus kind of said that, and then I started getting these YouTube videos that people were sending me of you doing heart tunes, you doing Dokken tunes, you doing Pat Benatar tunes. And it just blew my doors off. So I saw Skid Row. I saw you do like a cover of I Remember You. So obviously music of that time period was something that really connected with you. Yeah?
Yeah, you know, my dad raised me on all sorts of 80s. Well, not just 80s classics, because, you know, Heart and stuff. But I always remember waking up in the morning and there being like 80s pop-up videos on the TV or that metal show, you know, with Eddie Trunk and stuff. And there was something about the look and the music and the fact that these guys with big hair were just wailing on the guitars. And I just thought that it was the coolest thing ever. And so I picked up a guitar around 5 or 6, and, you know, that was the type of music that really, really inspired me to pick up a guitar. In particular, Aerosmith was my band that really, really, you know, Joe Perry was basically the whole reason I picked up a guitar. You know, seeing him just play guitar and hearing Dream On for the first time when I was like 5 was just
absolutely. Aerosmith's
a defining moment for me.
I think Rocks is like the most perfect start to finish hard rock record in history, and I can see that. You know, I can really see that. I can see that in your style. So why then, Mariah, was it important for you to find other like-minded ladies as opposed to just being like, listen, I've been on TV, I can go out, I can do kind of a whole solo thing. Why was it important for you to put together a band?
Well, I always wanted, like, the solo thing was fun for a little bit. Sorry, you'll have to forgive me. My voice is running out.
Oh,
But
no, it's okay. You're a singer.
My goal was to always be in a band. Like, I always wanted to be in a band because I grew up looking up to bands. And of course, if you love rock and roll, I feel like most artists that you'll see in rock and roll are bands. And it was just always a goal for me. And it was fun doing the solo thing. It worked. Like, it was cool while it lasted, but I just wasn't exactly happy all the way with what I was doing. And I didn't feel like I was living up to my full potential. And I'd had a backing band with my solo project, and I love them. They were all guys. We experienced some awesome times together, but we all just wanted to go our separate ways. And there was just something about being with a band full of guys that it's great, but for me, it wasn't quite like, I don't know, it wasn't quite the same as the idea of being with all girls.
Yeah.
Because we all get to experience the same things together. Like, I know the four of us are always talking about, oh my gosh, did you see that freaking guy that commented this about our outfits or whatever? Like, we all can experience the same, attention at, being women, because it's just inevitable. There's going to be ass guys out there that
it's a like-minded mentality. Yeah, absolutely. It's a total like-minded mentality.
Right. And then
so how did you guys all hook up? Like,
and then
how did you guys meet? How do you find because obviously you're a very talented group of ladies. So how do you all find each other? It's like, I think sometimes for really talented people to find each other, it's almost like a needle in a haystack. Like, how do you find this amazing drummer who can drum Tool's 46 and 2 and get, how do you find each other?
Me and Mariah, we met through our dads, actually. Her dad had reached out to my dad through a mutual friend that worked at a venue that we had both played at. And so we got together, we jammed, and then like within the next month, we had gone to NAMM together. And that's where we really became like friends, and we really like clicked and realized like, this is something that could be great. And me and Ashley, we used to go to School of Rock together. So that's where we had met. And then Mariah put out a tweet saying that, we were looking for a female guitarist. And then Lizzie Hale had shared it, and that's how Bella saw it. And
oh my God, that's amazing.
Yeah.
That is amazing. Amazing. Yeah. So you're on the Lizzie radar, you're on the Miley radar, and I love that. I love women supporting women. And look, Miley is badass. And I think she gets a lot of crap from people, because people are like, she's not rock. She's totally rock and roll. She's reinvented herself over and over and over. I have mad respect for her. So hearing her call you, a rock goddess, we need the rock goddesses these days. So what did that feel like for you, Mariah? It had to feel really good.
Oh, it felt crazy because I was like, first of all, I'm like, okay, here's this woman that I grew up watching on a freaking Disney Channel show.
Right.
Listening to, hearing all over the radio. And then for her to say that was something that was incredibly honoring, and it was just super, it was surreal, It was really, really crazy to hear that from her.
Yeah. I'm sure. And talk to me about the first single, because you guys are dropping a tune called Hate. And it really has that great, as I like to say, I call it familiar but fresh, because it has that real great kind of almost a classic-y sound, but it's got a freshness to it that you guys kind of invented and brought to the music. So give me a little background on Hate, what it's about, who's the the inspiration for the song? I know there had to be somebody who gave somebody inspiration for that tune. It's a little too passionate to not have that be the story.
Yeah, so Hate is our single that actually just came out. It's about that classic story of heartbreak, I guess, you know, where you really, really care about someone and, you know, you think that they care about you and, you know, they betray you and you hate so many things in the situation and you hate everything about them. But more than anything, you just hate that you still love them after all that they've done to you. That was kind of the inspo.
And I can feel the passion in the song. I mean, I can so feel that passion in that song when you guys are singing it. So are you guys working on a full, you know, a lot of artists are dropping things differently these days because we've been in pandemic times and there's not that pressure to make an album. So, you know, you talk to people and instead of sitting on something, they're like, you know what, we're going to drop 2 tunes and then maybe we'll drop 1 more and then maybe 3 songs. And then there are artists that are like, nope, we want to make a full record top to bottom. We feel that that's kind of the way we work best. So how do you guys see the future for you with releasing music?
We have 2 other songs recorded, and as far as I know, we are going to be releasing those as singles as well, I'm pretty sure. But I know we're all looking to, you know, eventually release like even like a full album or an EP even. So
Sure.
Yay. And what has lockdown been like for you girls too? You know, creating music and getting a band together and, you know, trying to kind of navigate this whole new band career for you at a time where it is just different than anything anybody's experienced before.
It's been really weird.
Yeah.
At the beginning, it was really weird. But it's actually been, I can't even believe how many opportunities it's opened up for us. Like, just the fact that this band is formed during this pandemic, like, it would definitely not have been formed, I don't think, if it weren't for this pandemic.
Wow.
And there are a lot of, you know, setbacks, like playing live shows. Obviously that's going to be something that's really, really helpful for us, especially as a rock band. But at the same time, it's basically a blessing in disguise is how I look at it. Because I don't think that we would have had the opportunities that we have right now if it weren't for the lockdown.
I love the silver lining. I love the silver lining. And I love when you cover Heart, I'll tell you, it's like Ann and Nancy together, like meshed together, you know, because you've got the great guitar style of Nance, you know, and she's so awesome on like acoustic and flamenco guitar. And then singing Ann Wilson, that's crazy, you know, and I'm watching you do Heart tunes and I'm like, wait a minute. I'm like, it's Ann and Nancy kind of forged together, you know, have the Heart ladies or, you know, tell me about some of the artists, if you've covered any of these artists that have seen you perform and have reached out or, you know, because I think when you see videos, and that's why I'm so grateful for YouTube and things now, you know, social media and everything has like a plus and a minus side.
Right.
You know, but I love to be able, you know, it's such a great way to discover talent. So, you know, who else has seen you? I mean, Ace Frehley has seen you guys and he knows about you. And you said Lizzie, you know, was retweeting and stuff. So tell me about who's seen you do their covers, because there are some that you actually have nailed better than the original. You know, some of the covers where I'm just like, wow, she's really nailing the vocal on that. Really amazing. Okay. For some of the guys, not the ladies. For
Well,
some
thank
of the guys.
you. I know that Sebastian Bach saw me cover I Remember You because it was a big thing with him and Michael Sweet. On like Loudwire, they got into like some stupid fight over it.
Yeah, I remember that. I remember that.
Yeah, I was like 15. I was like, look, I just love your song, man. I don't know why you're being like, I'm not trying to be better. I'm not doing it because I'm doing it because I love it. And I think it's a great song. But yeah, Sebastian Bach, I know Lizzie Hale has, people that I've covered aside from like Lizzie Hale haven't really, I mean, not that I know of, have they seen it? I don't
They
know.
They
I know
will.
that Dee Snider accused me of lip syncing.
Yeah.
Dee Snider said that I was fake and that I was lip syncing. So that was interesting.
Yeah, I can't picture that at all. Just seeing you with the acoustic guitar there, but yeah. And that's look.
Well, it was a cover of I was just saying it was the cover. I did a cover of "Never Let You Go" by Steelheart, and that was the one that he accused me of lip syncing to. So I didn't have my guitar with me.
Well, that was a crazy vocal cover too, because I've seen that cover also. But sometimes for the gals, look, I spoke to Lita Ford, and Lita was telling me that some of the guys, back in the day were like, "What the hell are you doing here with the guitar? Get out of here. We don't want you here. We don't need you here." And when I was interviewing her, I'm not going to lie, I'd had a couple of drinks. And I was like, "Who said that?" And she told me, I don't want to say now, but it was, it's crazy, and I think sometimes you guys have to push a little bit harder. We hope that the tide is changing a little bit. But I think it's a crazy brave thing to do, to put together an all-girl band and be like, this is what we're doing. Because, there are women in bands, and I'm trying to think of the all-girl bands, and I'm thinking like Go-Go's, I'm thinking like, L7, the Donnas from the 90s, the Runaways, Bangles. Like, there's not, if you can count them on a hand and a half, there's not a lot of women doing a whole full band,
Right.
So I'm so proud of you girls. Like, I'm so excited that you guys are, brave and crazy. I mean, there's nothing in life better than being a little brave and a little crazy, right?
Right. For sure.
So where'd the name come from? Who came up with the name? How did the name come? What is the name about?
It was just kind of thrown around a little bit. I don't really, there's not like too much meaning behind it. We just think it rolls off the tongue really nicely. It sounds really well. I mean, we also love how like plush, like it means like, like soft and like, but yeah, and then we like are playing like hard rock. So like the contradiction between the word plush and then the kind of music that we're playing, we also thought was pretty great.
Yeah, I love it. And it's simple. It kind of says, a little bit of everything about you guys. And it's, it's like you said, it's delicate, and yet it's like full. Like there's a fullness, to the name,
Right.
where there's a lot going on. I want to do, like, in a couple weeks or a couple months, like I want to do a follow-up with you guys, because I want the single to be out and breathing, and you guys, be sort of on your trajectory to the path that I think that you guys are going to be on. And that's like a super successful path. So I want to definitely have you guys back for like a second episode. We've had a few people back for second episodes. I definitely want you guys back for a second episode, because I'm so excited to see where the Plush journey is going to take you ladies. Because I'm like incredibly proud of you. Amazing. Just so nice to see 4 talented young ladies carrying the torch for rock and roll.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
you.
Yeah, we so appreciate it. And we would love to be back too, I'm sure.
Yay! So the ladies from Plush, I will let you go on to your rock and roll adventures. Kiss your dog for me, by the way. Your dog is so cute. Where's your dog? Wait, you get yours.
She
I'll
left.
get mine. Wait,
I
hang
have
on.
snakes in here.
You have snakes?
Yes, my dog left, but I do have my snakes. I'll give them a kiss for you.
We'll do like a doggy, like an end doggy. There's mine.
Yes.
The culprit. She was very quiet and very well behaved.
Oh, look at her nose. Oh, it's so cute.
If she saw your guy, she would have went a little crazy. Yeah, this is my shelter girl. Say goodbye to the ladies in Plush, Rose.
So cute.
She's Whole Lotta Rosie, named after
Bye.
the AC song.
Nice.
Bye,
She is
ladies.
so
Love you,
cute.
ladies. Can't wait to have you back. The best of luck.
Thank you
Thank
so
you
much
so
for
much.
having
Thank you.
so much.
Yeah, thank you for having us.
Yeah, thank you.
DHA's Reconnect with Rockers is powered by Karis Lock Company, your full-service locksmith.